What's good, YouTube? Quasar here. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys my Chaos Dragon deck profile. So let's just jump right into it. Now, because it's Chaos Dragons, you obviously have to play your one copy of BLS. Really good 3k beater. You banish a light and dark from grave to special summon it, and then you can choose to either attack with it twice or you can target a monster on the field and banish it. So obviously have to play it. Then you have your Dark Armed Dragon, again just one copy. When you have 3 dark monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon it. And when it's on the field, you can banish a dark from your graveyard to pop a card on the field. Then of course your Red Eyes Darkness Metal, another 28 beater dragon that essentially you just banish a dragon on your field to special summon it. And then while it's on the field, you can freely summon any dragon from your graveyard or your hand once per turn. So your 3 boss monsters, really strong, obviously have to play them. Next we play Eclipse Wyvern. So this is like a mill variant, of course, which is basically what you want to be doing in a deck like this. When this card's sent to the graveyard, you get to banish a level 7 or higher dark. Well, it can be lighter dark, but you're essentially wanting to target one of these two. And then when this is banished, you get to add that banished card by this effect to your hand. So it allows you to get to Dark Armed or Darkness Metal a lot faster. 3 copies of Light Pulsar. So this is going to be like the main level 6 of the deck. You want to be reoccurring this card as often as possible. From your hand, banish 1 light and dark from your grave to special it. Or if it's in the graveyard, discard a light and dark to special summon from grave. When this card's sent from the field to the graveyard, though, you get to summon a level 5 or higher dark monster from your graveyard. So you can actually bring back your Dark Armed and Darkness Metal if they were summoned properly. So that helps a lot in order to keep applying the pressure. Another target for that effect is of course your Dark Flare. Card isn't as good. It's a 24 beater level 5 and essentially the same thing. You can banish a light and dark in order to summon it from your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard, though, what you can do is you can discard a dragon and send 1 from your deck to the graveyard and then banish 1 card from either player's graveyard. So it's alright, I guess. You want to just play it at 1. Next we have 2 copies of Chaos Sorcerer. I know this card is actually at 3, but you don't need 3. 2 is good. Banish 1 light and dark to special from hand, and then you get to banish a card on the field. So pretty good, and it has a decent attack at 23. We're playing 2 copies of Gores as well. This guy just provides some basic protection. If you're attacked directly or dealt effect damage while you control no cards, you get to drop this guy, and then based on what kind of damage you do, you get to apply a certain effect. So if it's battle damage, you get to summon a token, attack and defense equal to the damage you took. If it's effect damage, drop this guy, and then your opponent takes that same amount of effect damage. Next, 2 of the baby black dragons along with 2 of the baby white dragons. They just kind of recycle each other, cycle each other out of the deck, that sort of thing. Also easy to drop, just gotta banish the opposite attribute in order to special summon it. So it allows for easy rank 4 plays too. We also play 2 copies of Raiden. So Raiden's gonna be one of your main tuners of the deck, and this guy really helps with milling because when he's on board you can send 2 from the top of your deck to the graveyard, and then of course during the end phase you also have to mill again. 2 copies of Lumina. You want Lumina just to get your Raiden, and then you can have quick access into your level 7 synchros, mostly Michael, but you know, choice is yours. We also play one copy of Lila just to help remove back row, and it also helps with the milling too. Let's get this cluster out of the way. Continuing on, we play the one copy of Plague Spreader. Really good because you can just put one card from your hand back on top of your deck in order to special summon it. This will be like your main dark tuner. Really helpful for getting into your level 8 synchros. 2 copies of Card Trooper, again, just to help with the milling. 2 Curry Bandit, again, to help with milling, and it can get you one of your spells from your deck into your hand a lot faster. We play the one copy of Electromagnetic Turtle. So when this card is milled, if you are in a tight spot, you can just banish it and end the battle phase, so it can help you survive for another turn. One copy of Glow Up, really easy to get it in the graveyard because you're milling. When it is milled, you just get to mill another card in order to special summon it from your graveyard. So it allows for really easy synchro summoning plays. And then lastly, we play 2 copies of Effect Veiler. Sometimes this does get milled, oh well, you're just kind of using it as effect negation, but if it doesn't happen, then oh well. So that's it for the monster lineup. We're moving on to the spells now. We don't play any traps because this is a mill deck and you're most likely going to be milling those cards, and it'll also slow down the deck too. We just want to make this deck as fast as possible. So we're playing 2 copies of Charge of the Light Brigade just to get to your Light Sworn monsters as quick as possible. 1 copy of Foolish. There's a lot of different stuff in here that you can Foolish. Mostly you want to go into Glow Up Ball, but I know depending on the situation you can go for something else. Soul Charge, really broken in this deck because you are milling. You're going to end up with a lot of monsters in your graveyard. Allure of Darkness, just to help with some draw power. Burial from a Different Dimension, just to help you reuse some of those banished cards. Reasoning, help fuel your graveyard and special summon a monster, which honestly, because you're playing so many different levels, it'll be really difficult for your opponent to call the right card, so that's why you play Reasoning. And then, of course, 3 copies of Galaxy Cyclone. We want to be playing this over any other spell trap removal because if this does get milled, you at least still have ways to use it. You can still banish this card and still pop a face-up spell or trap. So yeah, 3 copies of Galaxy Cyclone. So that's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. We of course play Michael, one of your few level 7 synchros we have. You can have it on board, target a card on field, pay 1,000 life in order to banish it. So that's actually really good. You can get rid of a lot of troublesome cards. During the end phase, you mill 3. If this card does end up getting destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can shuffle as many Light Sworns from grave back into the deck, and then you end up gaining, I think it is 300 for each, so not bad, a little bit of recycling. We play Black Rose Moonlight, and of course regular Black Rose. You know, Moonlight just helps you bounce stuff back, while Black Rose, if you're in a tight spot, you can always just nuke the board and start from scratch. So that's it for your level 7s. For the level 8s, we're playing Void Ogre. Sometimes you are left with an empty hand. You want to be using Plague Spreader to get into them, and then you can just freely negate whatever spell or trap. Beals, of course, can help you get out of a lot of tricky situations. Again, you're going to be using your plague spreader to get into it. Scarlight, just a really solid level 8 synchro. And then you have Psyframe Lord Omega, which is extremely helpful. Allows you to recycle your banished stuff. If it's sent to graveyard, you can recycle stuff from your graveyard. And when it's on field, you get to take a card out of opponent's hand. And it's a 2800 beater, so this is probably still like one of the best synchros you're looking at in the game right now. If not, it's going to be this guy, your friend Crystal Wing. Really easy to get into if you have one of your level 7s on board, and then you just use your glow up bulb, and then you easily have your Crystal Wing. I really like it when I'm able to summon out Michael and then use its effect to banish something, and then summon glow up bulb in order to get into your Crystal Wing. So just something like that, really simple and helps out a lot. Okay, so your basic rank 4 staples, we're playing 1 copy of 101, 1 copy of Castel, 1 copy of Gaga. Just, you have your removal and then you have burn, so you usually want to be playing those 3 if you have access into rank 4s. We also want to be playing the 1 copy of Daigusto Emerald because it allows you to cycle some of your monsters back into your deck for recycling purposes. And then the last Xyz monsters we're playing 2 copies of Beatrice. Just takes 2 level 6s, so that's actually really easy to do in this deck. And then during either player's turn, you get to detach in order to send 1 monster from your deck to your graveyard. So it allows you to essentially get your combo pieces into the graveyard. Like, again, you're probably going to be wanting to send Glow Up Bulb, but there are a lot of other monsters that you could send to the graveyard in order to, like, bring back whatever, however you want to do it. And then, of course, if it does get destroyed, we are playing the 1 Pilgrim. So he's just another 28 beater if your Beatrice does get destroyed. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.
Yo,